It's easy to ask, why don't they just leave, when looking at someone stuck in an abusive relationship? From the outside, the answer seems so simple. But for the person living it, leaving can feel impossible, like they're trapped in quicksand, sinking deeper with every attempt to escape. The truth is, staying in an abusive relationship isn't a choice made lightly. It's a complex, deeply psychological experience shaped by fear, manipulation, and a twisted version of love that keeps pulling them back. Abusers don't start with violence, they start with charm. They build trust, create a bond, and then, slowly, the control creeps in. At first, it might look like concern. I just want to know where you are. Then it becomes isolation. Why do you even need friends when you have me? By the time the abuse escalates, the person is so emotionally entangled that leaving feels like losing a piece of themselves. Now, let's talk about fear. Not the fear of being hurt again, although that's very real, but the fear of what happens after leaving. Abusers often use threats to maintain control. No one will believe you, you'll lose everything, I'll make your life hell if you try to leave. These threats are not empty words, they're calculated weapons designed to keep the victim silent and compliant. And then there's the guilt. Victims often blame themselves, thinking, maybe if I had done something differently, this wouldn't have happened. Abusers fuel this narrative, making their victims believe they're responsible for the abuse. That guilt becomes a chain, holding them in place. Society doesn't help either. Too often, people judge victims instead of supporting them. Questions like, why did you stay so long? Or, why didn't you tell someone? Only add to the shame, making it harder for victims to seek help. Here's something most people don't realize. Leaving isn't just walking out the door. It's dismantling an entire life, sometimes a life built on years of manipulation, control, and emotional dependency. It means facing the unknown, often with little support, and starting over from scratch. And yet, despite all of this, people do leave. They find strength in places they didn't know existed. They reach out, rebuild, and reclaim their lives. It's not easy, and it's not quick, but it's possible. If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, know this. It's not your fault, and you're not alone. There are people who want to help, who will listen without judgment. The first step might feel like the hardest, but it's the one that can change everything. Let's break the cycle, together. Share this message, because someone out there needs to hear it today.